Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Beth and I like to read, but if you read my handle differently, you are still allowed to stay. Today, I'm going to be taking you through my April TBR. So very similarly to my March TBR, my April TBR is pretty much set in stone as I prepare for book club reads and for the Ball Gowns and Books event that is coming up in May. So it's coming up very quickly. I have 11 books on my TBR for April. It's probably too many because I do have to finish sewing the gown that I'm going to be wearing to the event, which is going to take up a lot of time. But I've been strategic with some of my choices. Whilst I do have the physical copies, I have audiobooks of some of these books, so that will hopefully mean that I can spend my time reading but also creating and sewing at the same time. So let's start with my book club books. I'm part of 3 different book clubs. The first one is my Canberra Romance and Fantasy book club. So this month we're going to be reading Daughter of No Worlds, the first in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy. I'm really excited to start this one, but I also don't really know anything about the series, so I'm excited to get into it. I'm going to try and approach this one as a blind read, really not knowing too much about it, just that it is kind of in the romantasy genre. The next book is for my weekly book club, so I have a group of bookster girls, including my roommate Tej. We meet every week, we read about 150 pages of whatever book that we choose, and we get together and we talk about it. We just finished one that I really dislike, so we put it to a vote and we've chosen to stick to a more traditionally published option just because we're feeling a bit burnt out on some subpar indie stories that we've been reading. We're going to be reading The Crimson Moth by Kristen Sigarelli. Don't know if that's how you say her name, and I don't really know too much about the book. I have had this one on my radar. Like, it wasn't necessarily on my TBR, but it's definitely been on my radar for some time. And because this is a duology, I think this could be a really fun one for us to buddy read as we go through together. So we'll be starting this one from Tuesday. The last one I don't have the physical copy of yet. I will be reading When Haru Was Here by Dustin Thau. Another one I don't really know a huge volume about. Our traveling book club, there are 7 of us in it. Each of us have selected a book and we post it around every month to the 7 different women and we annotate and make notes in it. I truly don't know anything about this one, and I've deliberately not looked it up because I want to experience it for the first time through the eyes of my fellow readers. This will be the 3rd last book, so we're in the tail end of the Travelling Book Club, which is really exciting. The last one I read for Travelling Book Club I wasn't a fan of, but reading it with all the annotations was actually a really cool experience. So even though I wasn't a fan of the story in the book itself, it was still a good experience to read overall. Reviews of When Haru Was Here seem to be fairly positive, and I'm really excited to read it, and it's a male-male romance is my understanding. I haven't read a male-male romance in a while, so that's another excellent addition to my March TBR. The next edition is, so obviously Easter and Anzac Day coming up. I'm going to be taking some extended leave over that time to go and visit my family. My sister and I have decided to do a buddy read. We did read along together where we both read, it was 2 different Agatha Christie books, but we'd never read Agatha Christie at all. So both of us read and experienced it and kind of were able to share our thoughts, and we had a good time. We lived together at the time of doing that, so it was much easier to do. We now live 5 hours away. So whilst we can do it, you know, via distance, it's different when you're with someone and experiencing that together. So we're going to be sharing the experience of Sunrise on the Reaping together over Easter, and I am so excited to share this with her. We're going to be vlogging it, so you will be seeing that on the channel. It has been so hard for me not to like look at the blurb to open the first page of this book because I'm so excited to read it, but I'm going to stay strong because I'm really excited to share this experience with Ellie. The remaining reads for the month is to try and read and complete series that I have started. So we're going to start off with the audiobooks for the remainder of the Bargainer series. Laura Thalassa, who wrote this, she was Coming to Babe, which is why I started the series originally. I've read book 1, but I've got books 2, 3, and 4 to go in this series. Now I do have the physical books of these, but I have gone and purchased the audiobooks because I need to finish sewing this babe dress. And whilst I could just put on TV or some music or something else to keep me occupied while I'm sewing, I like the idea of being able to use books and try and complete my reading goal using the audiobooks whilst I attempt to finish this dress. I've already forgotten so much of the first book. I want to make sure that I can finish this and understand the story before I forget everything, having read it about 6 months ago now. If I can finish the dress in time, I will be reading the physical books of these next 2 ones. Otherwise, I do have the audiobooks for books 2 and 3 in the Bridge Kingdom series. I really want to read the physical versions because I did enjoy the experience of reading the physical ones with my book club last month. However, I do need to work with my time constraints because I need to have this dress finished by the end of May. So it just depends on how long it takes me to achieve the vision that I have in mind for these dresses. Depending on how I go this month, there is book 4 in this series that's already out, and book 5 will be coming out later in the month. So just depending on how I go, I may be able to read a couple more, but I'm only committing to 2 because my TBR is already quite large for this month. The last 2 I have on my list are books 2 and 3 in the Lady of Darkness series. So I have literally just started the first one this morning. Melissa is coming to Babe, so I'm going to speed through as many of these books as I can before the event. This is a series that has been on my TBR because I'm interested in reading it, but I've just kind of pushed it aside. As soon as Tidra's the one who told me that she's coming to Babe, I bought all of the books that are currently released and I will be reading them as soon as I can so that I can meet her. I've only read 50 pages of the first book so far, but I'm really enjoying it and really keen to get into the remainder of this series. With that being said, it's a nice short and sweet video for my April TBR. This is my books that I'm going to read. I am a bit nervous. Whilst I did get a lot of reading done this month, I'm nervous about my concentration levels with understanding a story on audiobook whilst I'm sewing at the same time, because sewing does take a lot of brain power. And I'm just a bit nervous about how many of these I'm actually going to complete. I'm really excited to read every single one of these books, so I hope that it'll be a really successful reading month as well as getting this dress sewn. So thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing me read any of these books, I will be vlogging the experience of the vast majority of them. So make sure you subscribe, click like below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!